Hello, my name is Edith Hike. I live in Newburyport and I'm a professional artist. Today is the unveiling of the mural project, which is part of the Rails and Trails Commission. I painted the center mural here of the Salisbury Beach as a retro scene. It's a compilation of different images, and I used my own expressionistic style to interpret it. I don't know if you can hear me with all the clunking of the cars, but I just wanted to say hello, and please come to the new Rails and Trails, walk underneath to wind up over at Striper's restaurant and continue on the trail.
I found them for you.
I'm Jerry Klima, and I'm one of the members of the committee who I'm not the artist. I wish I could be an artist. I drew something once, but I do appreciate art, and I want to say that we had a wonderful time doing this. We had a committee of Lisa Pearson and Leah Hill and Eleanor Backrack and Bonita LaFleur from the Newburyport Art Association. This is a collaboration of the town of Salisbury and the Newburyport Art Association, hands across the river, which is a very nice thing. And we had the idea that we were going to be having this very path that we wanted to make people safe when they went between Newburyport and Salisbury, or vice versa. And that was being designed. And then we realized that Newburyport had done a very nice mural on their side of the river. So we thought we should try to do something like that as well, and reached out to the Art Association and had wonderful, amazing cooperation from Eleanor, and she recruited Bonita to work with us. And we had a series of meetings and decided, it's not clear to me where it came from, it didn't come from me, but to have a collection of Salisbury themed paintings rather than just one mural that would show one scene. And it may be Leah, it may have been Eleanor or Bonita, I don't really remember, but it was I think a brilliant idea. And that's what we wound up with. We decided that we would recruit artists to do paintings. And the problem then is you have to have a budget. And so we went to the Newburyport 5-cent Savings Bank, and Jan Morse, the president, is here. And we received a grant from the 5-cent Savings Bank, and we received a grant from the Institution for Savings. Bruce McDonald is here, and we thank them very, very much. And we also, I'm in the Coastal Trails Coalition, and we have the Trails Coalition raises money from the public, and so we have some money in the bank, and the board voted to make a grant for this. And then in Salisbury, we have an Adopt a Trail program where merchants have put we have little signs along the trail, and they pay into a fund for maintaining and improving the trails. And so we use some money from that as well to put together a budget for this. And then Lisa and Leah applied to the various local cultural councils, Salisbury, Newburyport, Amesbury, and Merrimack. West Newbury, I'm sorry. That was their department. They also contributed. So we brought funds in from all those sources in order to offer an award to the artists and to buy the materials for the paintings. And then we advertised a competition, and people competed, and here are the people who came and did the paintings. And it was a great process. Ray Girton on the right-hand side did the painting of the Salisbury beacons. I think that's what you call it, Ray. And we thought that was a great concept because Salisbury has a few towers around town, and this brought them all together in a beach sense. It was a really, really nice concept. And Peggy Omer, on my right, did the marsh painting. Salisbury has more marshes than just about anybody else, and so that was a really, really, really nice thing to have to feel the feel of Salisbury. And Edith Hike brought Salisbury Beach, old-time Salisbury Beach in, and I've offered all the artists to say something about their work, and most have declined, but I'd like Edith, if she's willing, to say something about your work and what you did.
Well, hello. My name is Edith Hike. I am a professional artist and muralist, and I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to have worked on this project. It was handled completely professionally. The plywood panels were delivered on time. Everything was wonderful. The paintings themselves are removed from the wall in the background so that they won't be rotting from the back. There's moisture can drip down, and they're trimmed and edged and varnished, and hopefully they will last a long time. And I'm just so happy to have been able to capture a little touch of the past of retro Salisbury in my 35 years in this area. I can even remember it somewhat. So I thank you for the opportunity.
And next on my right is Jim Angelone. And Jim, would you tell people about the story of your painting?
Sure.
You painted the Salisbury Beach and jetty scene. And if you look really closely, Plum Island is in the distance. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I try to make it as authentic as possible. If you're actually from Plum Island, you should be able to go up to the painting and point out your own house. This is the mouth of the Merrimack River. When I was a kid, I can always remember growing up, my grandfather would always promise us if we woke up extra early in the morning, we could probably find sand dollars. So I actually, in my entire life, have never found a sand dollar. But so just to make up for it, this is a representation of my grandfather. God love him, he passed away last week. So he wasn't able to be here today, but the day that they came to pick up the mural, my sister's boyfriend and I, we did carry the mural over to him because he lived right next door, and so he was able to see it. I did go by and surprise him with it. So it was good to see a glowing smile on his face. If you ask everybody in our family, basically, what they all remember, it is always when he would ask us, let's go for a walk to the Black Rocks, and usually his tactic to get you up in the morning was he would cook bacon, so you always woke up to the smell of bacon, and he didn't eat it himself. He was a health nut, so he lived to the ripe old age of 85, and I felt that doing this painting would be to touch on a memory that we all have growing up on the beach, is those solitude and those moments where you're alone with someone that you care about on the beach. And to me, a lot about Salisbury is always about those memories. And it's interesting to see all the different interpretations of what we all see as Salisbury. And I'm really honored to be here today and to be a part of this. This is really a terrific project.
And to my left, Stephanie Noah, and she painted the view from this bridge of the Rings Island shoreline. And this is something that, of course, I live on Rings Island. I see it every day, and it's wonderful. It really gives you the feeling for Rings Island. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And next, Debbie Labuda. Debbie is shy. Here we go. Debbie is a great friend in Coastal Trails, and for example, she not only did the beautiful buoy painting, which is down pretty far from here, but it really is a special painting. But also, it does a lot of the not a lot, all of the graphic art that we need, graphics that we need for brochures and signs, and that sign over there. She designed that as well for us. So we owe a lot to Debbie, and thank you very much, Debbie, for also a beautiful painting. And finally, Claudia Valovic. Do you like to say Valovic? Okay. She painted the farming scene. You know, Salisbury is really a very interesting place. It's got so much variety. You go from a fishing village on Rings Island to the beach, and all of the, you know, the density, the activity, the just, you know, really busyness. And then you travel through the rest of town into woods, and then finally you get to Salisbury Plains, and you have open farms and fields. I mean, it's a remarkable variety of different things, to say nothing of the, I think, 40% of the town that is marshes. So it's a really varied place. And, you know, this captures the feeling of old Salisbury. They wouldn't be plowing with a horse anymore, but this was a very, very strong agricultural community. So I really thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Anyway, so the artist painted these wonderful paintings, and then the question is, how are we going to put them on this wall? But well, I know, and the answer is Dan Wilson. All right, Dan just did a fabulous job. We worked together. He made all of these. If you can see the paintings, we have a problem with this wall. When it rains, the water comes down and then runs over the wall. And you put a painting on that, and it's going to die very quickly. Okay, and so talked with Dan, and he made aluminum brackets that are behind the paintings that hold them off the wall. And that was a big job. There's 3 substantial aluminum brackets behind the wall, a lot of work, a lot of material, and then on the back of the paintings we had to put studs that would go into precisely drilled holes. This is a very precise job, and then he and I worked together to drill the holes, and it was a remarkable process. He just, you know, believe me, if you ever need anything made out of metal, you need to go to Wilson Welding. and that's one of the things that actually is one of the great pleasures for me, having been involved in town, doing things as a selectman and other things. You never know who you're going to meet, or what you're going to, you know, what's going to come your way in terms of really, really nice, high-quality people. And Dan is an example. I'm probably an example to him too. He didn't really know me either. But you know, this project, and all of you, you know, we've become friends. We work together. It's been a really good thing. Similar, you know, I didn't know Jan. You know, I didn't know Bruce. But you know, we have a community, and this is one of those things where people work together, you know, create something that we can all enjoy, and we all get a pleasure out of working, out of doing it together. You know, it makes me feel very emotional, frankly, because we just work together so well, and then we have something we can all enjoy. So I just wanted to say that. Now, Leah and Lisa Pearson is our planning director in Salisbury, and Leah is her assistant. Well, why don't you talk about the art stroll idea and also about the student art? Go ahead from there. I just said enough.
So one more component of this project came from Triton. Brooke Morris, who is an art teacher over at Triton, approached the town because her students were very interested in studying the history of Salisbury, and they actually had their own art competition where the whole class did work And then they voted on the best 3 pictures from each, from 3 different semesters worth of classes. And over here we have a display of their artwork. We also displayed it at the Newburyport Art Association in March, and we're hoping to have this be sort of roving around Salisbury and the different schools. We're hoping to get the different schools to put them in around so that people can enjoy the students' perspective of Salisbury, and sort of what they came about when they did their history and research, and what they they don't have necessarily the memory of Edith or any of us others, but they certainly have heard and seen a lot of pictures of that. And did you want to say a couple words?
No, thank you.
But Brooke was very instrumental in getting this going, and it's really great to have the students learning and sort of understanding the history of Salisbury. Art Stroll.
Sure.
Hi, so when we were coming up with the idea for the mural, we thought, well, what a great way to also have an event. We don't always have lots of events in Salisbury, and we thought we have this beautiful trail that hundreds of people love and tell us that they love so much, so why don't we create this kind of art stroll along it where we could have our dedication for the mural and be excited about art and continue that down the trail. So we have artists set up on the trail today selling and displaying their work, and we got a great turnout. I think a lot of people had heard about it, and then other people who just use the trail every day, get to see something different. It's something that we're very hopeful that it'll be an annual event that we can get people excited about, and that'll be something that they mark their calendar on, just like other events in the community. So we were really excited. We had a really good turnout with the vendors, as well as just different wet paint artists painting pictures of the scene, and we were just really excited about it, and we're very happy that we have so many people here to collaborate and enjoy the day.
I haven't spoken to Jan or Bruce. Would you like to say anything?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
No, you're okay. I can offer it to you too. Okay. Well, I do remember somebody else that I didn't really say enough about, and that is the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. Okay? You're standing on something that was designed and paid for and constructed by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. We've had a real safety problem crossing the highway. And, I live on Rings Island, and I crossed it many times. I had 2 close calls, but and a lot of other people had close calls, and we were really holding our breath as to, once we had a nice trail that attracted people, that we were attracting them into a dangerous situation. And Mass DOT stepped up and designed and then built this really, really wonderful thing. We thought that this would just be a path and it would get you there safely, but it's turned into a park, and it's a beautiful park. And so when we got into this, they had painted most of the bridge but not this part. We asked them to do that, and they did. When we thought of the idea of the murals, we asked them to paint the abutment, and they did. They really stepped up. So when you pay your gas tax or whatever, some of it is right here. So I think that is just about it. But this has been a great project, and I hope that we can all enjoy it for years to come.
Thank you.